So hello everyone. Welcome to my very small YouTube channel about knitting, mostly knitting and sometimes fiber and other crafts. My name is Isabelle. I am in France. I have 3 sons and I have 3 cats. Some say it's related. And I'm filming these videos in English because I miss my English very much. I used to live in the United States. I lived for 4 years in Atlanta, Georgia, but that was over 30 years ago. And my talking in English is gone. I still hear, read and write in English, but my talking, I have lost my talking and I have lost my accent. Or should I say I have lost the fact that I almost did not have an accent any longer. So if a video about my knitting adventures sounds good to you, and if you are ready to bear with my accent and hesitations, please stay tuned. Okay, so today I think it's going to be a bit of a shorter video. I had quite a bit of adventures. I'm going to be talking about in the later part of the video, and you can skip that. It's going to be all at the end if you're not interested into life updates. So we are not on a Wednesday, we are on a Thursday, and I went back home at noon to kind of a bit about before noon so that I can film the video and edit it tonight so that it can be uploaded tomorrow. So it's going to be a bit shorter because I have a bit less time today to dedicate to that. Anyway, so today there will be 1 finished object and 2 work in progress, and I'll save my acquisitions, of course, no yarn, because I'm on a yarn no buy year and I have regulations and I have rules for myself. And also I'll have rules. I have rules for pattern buying and books and things that I will most probably revisit at the end of the year once I have been for 1 year on that project. So my acquisitions I will save for my next video that is going to be about my October checking for my yarn no buy year, or my no buy year, or low buy year, should I say. So yeah, 1 finished object, I guess. I'm sure you can guess which one it is, and 2 work in progresses. 2 work in progress, I should say. That's one of my mistakes. Okay, so first, what am I wearing? Of course, my beautiful Madeleine sweater. The weather has been very beautiful here in France, unusually warm, so I'm still wearing short sleeves and some of, late summer type of clothing. So I'm wearing my Madeleine sweater made of double strand of tights from Holzgarn. Beautiful yarn, not too light, not too warm, not too cold. Perfect for mid-season, I should say, or not completely warm season and not completely extremely cold season. So what am I wearing? It's also going to be my finished object for today. It's my Aglia shawl from Mayu KP that I knit with 2, not completely, half of a skein of the green myth, or no, it's Orient Belt colorway that Trellis dyed for her last year Christmas mystery box, and the myth colorway that is a heavy variegated yellow based or cream based but with heavy yellow undertones. So yeah, I just finished that. It's blocked. There's a Nycord ending at the edge, and then on this one you knit as you go. This one you knit when you finish the shawl. And if you recall, I had a boo-boo because I think I missed slipping a stitch somewhere on one of the border, and it was not, you know, it had a small dip in the fabric, but as you make an I-cord on that side too, that kind of a boo-boo is totally invisible. So I'm very pleased with the shawl. I need to get used to that bright yellow color. I'm not sure bright yellow is really fitting my skin tone, but I think the green turns it down, that kind of discrepancy. And what I do at the shawl is a bit small. I usually wear it like that so that the green is closer to my skin and not too much, not much of the yellow. So I'm gonna have to check right before my eyes on my computer to see how much I used, because I have not much left of the Myth colorway. I have about, I use 81 grams out of 100. So you see, I have a bit less than 20 grams left. So 20 grams is the size of a mini. So you see, as I want to do things with my fingering weight leftovers, I have a few patterns, maybe even a blanket or a baby blanket or a lap blanket. So that's good to have, you know, 20 grams of leftovers. And the Myth color, Orient Belt, sorry, I keep mixing them up. The Orient Belt colorway, the green one, I used much less, because I used only 46 grams. So I have 54 grams left. And, you know, I'll do the same thing. I'll use that. So I need to see, you know that I frogged my Rosa at the Ball wrist warmers that are also cotton figurine weight leftovers from my Elvan shawl. I need to see, because I had said I'm gonna make maybe some of my small little trendy little scarves, marling, with the beige base and marling all the colors. I'm not quite decided, and I've seen a blanket pattern that I like, so maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure I have enough to knit a whole blanket, but as there are squares that you assemble afterwards, you know, it may wait. I have enough to make a blanket. So yeah, very happy. The yarn is a delight to knit, a delight to wear. It's absolutely not scratchy. It's very soft. And yeah, I've been wearing quite a bit. I'm not sure it's the best combination with my Madeleine sweater. I just, you know, had the Madeleine sweater on and wanted to wear what's its name now? I forgot. The Aglia shawl from Mayu. But yeah, I am very happy with that one. So next is my dear woolen pine sorrel sweater. My mind is elsewhere, as you can probably guess. So my sorrel sweater, I have finally separated for the sleeves. I have done now the short rows from the back. I'm not sure, maybe I have to go back so that you can see it. I can maybe place my hands here. I left the stitches on hold for the arms on my cords from barber cords. I have to say one thing about these cords. I like them very much to be leaving the stitches on hold for arms or other ways, because, you know, you stick your needle, you pass the stitches through, then you have it back on your needle. It's very easily, it's much more easy than on scrape yarn. even though, you know, there's nothing wrong with using scrap yarns for that. But I have to say that for a large number of stitches, I'm back to putting cords back to back with the connector, you know, regular knitting cords, because more than once I had my barber cords pop off of my needles. I'm using higher sharps. Maybe that's why it's also popped out of wooden needles, and if I'm using sticky yarn, there's not much of a problem to have them back on the needle. If I'm using superwash or slippery yarn like this one, I don't want to be chasing dark stitches that are going to be unraveling if I pull too much to find them. Anyway, so I'm back. I'm using, you know, I connect cables to try them on, to try the sweater on. I may pop a picture just after I have separated for the sleeves. I'm very happy. I had quite of a concern because I wanted to use most of my air guitar color, so I did one additional repeat before I went to a repeat that was every other one. And after I was thinking, well, maybe the yoke is going to be too deep, maybe I won't like that. It's perfect. So yeah, good decision. I have a few grams left. I knit almost all of my air guitar. That was my my decision. That's what I wanted to do. This is going to be the front, so I like very much the pulling this way in the front. I had to rearrange a bit to so that it looks that way and not that way, or you know, it should have been something like that. This is the one I liked, so I moved the beginning of row so that it looks that way. And yeah, I did the short row, so this is the front. This is what people are going to be seeing watching me from the front. This is the back, and I have to say I like very much the shifting between air guitar and Storm, and Storm was an extremely good recommendation from La Bien-Aimée. I'm not sure, I forget her name every time. It's because of Lisa, and it's not Lisa. I'll pop her name here, or I'll say it if I suddenly recall the name. Because even though the skins look very different, you see my fading here, and here is Storm all the way. With the Winterfeld mohair, the base look quite close, even though Storm is much lighter on the skin than air guitar. And I like the way the fade is here, and then you only lose the speckles, the bright colors, and you move to something much darker. And so I've done the short rows here. I'm showing you the nice ones, because I have on the other side, I have to see why this happened. On the other side, they show very much more, even though I did the same thing. So I may have to duplicate stitch that, so that here they don't show any longer. So I'll be waiting out the Storm so that I know about when to stop and start fading with Soso. I think it's my next color, and have enough for the sleeves. What I'm thinking, I have 4 colors. I have Soso next. I have and I have the North to finish with. I'll see when I start fading or when I need to start fading with my next color, if I use both of them or if I use only the North to finish the sweater. I don't know if, when I look at the yoke and all that I have knit with it, I think I can, you know, go with only one additional color from once I start fading. Maybe, maybe not. So I'll see where I am once I'm ready to separate to start fading again. And yeah, I'll decide if I have an extra skein that I will decide which one I keep and what I want to do with it. But I will find, I will have ideas. So yeah, this is my second work in progress that I'm still very happy with it. I had some time to knit during the weekend. Okay, so next work in progress. After I finished the Aglia shawl, I thought I want to continue on the rhythm of one sweater or garment or t-shirt or something, and one accessory, shawl or scarf or mitts or hat or something. So I had a lot of stress at the beginning of this week. We are almost at the end of the week. So I did not want to start or cast on something I had to be thinking about. You know, on my sorrel sweater, I haven't knit anything since I've separated for the sleeves and knit the short rows this weekend. So I casted on another of my trendy little scarves either for my mother. I think it's gonna be for my mother, and I still want to make one for my sister-in-law. I had, as I said last week, but I haven't made any further progress than that because I concentrated on the sorrel sweater this weekend, and I want to try some other thing that just one by one rib, and this the same pattern I made as all the other ones. And what I did, I cast on 2 additional stitches from the original pattern to see if a bit higher on the neck I'm gonna like it or not, or if I go back to the regular number of stitches. So I'll keep you posted of what I'm doing here, and if I like with the higher number of stitches, I'll post it in the pattern notes. Maybe not update the pattern, and I still have to ask for permission to give the directions for these wrap stitches that are very easy. It's 3 wraps around 3 stitches, and then you move one stitch left or right to make this sort of a diamond shape. Yeah, so this one, I think this one is going to be for my mother, and because my sister-in-law likes green color, and I have a green acrylic yarn from that my mother gave from her stash. So this is what I wanted to do. And I've also been on the hunt for mitten patterns because my youngest son, Paulin, asked for mittens. So I'm gonna also be doing this. I have a few in my lined up, and I just have to decide, and whenever I'm ready to cast on. I got one this morning that I saw one this morning that I like very much. So I guess this is the one I'm going to be using. So yeah, that's it for my work in progress. You see, it's going to be a bit shorter of an episode for today, and I'm going to move to my life updates and my usual finishing, mantra. But if you're not interested into that, you are most than welcome to stop here and move to other things, watch other things or the YouTubers. And but if you enjoyed the video, as everyone is asking, please subscribe, please give the thumb up, please comment, please share the video, so that the channel get exposed to more people, because in the comments I see many new people who said, you know, I'm so surprised. I just, you know, found your channel. I like it and everything. So if you want more of these kind of people coming to the channel and be very positive and everything, you have, you know, the YouTube algorithm is what you make it, you make of it. It's your own actions that make, you know, the channel or the video spread out. So yeah, if you are happy, please do that. If you want to see my life updates, please stay here. And if not, I will see you next time. I'll try to be knitting. I did not say it just before, but it's, you know, the ball is getting smaller and smaller, the ball of yarn, and I have a second one that my mother gave me, the ball of acrylic yarn, and I could not find my other needles. I just knitting with chippy DPNs I have, metal DPNs I have. Life updates. This week has been, you know, high of with events from my mother. No real events, but she's been very depressed and crying on the phone, and you know, it took quite a bit of time for me, from me calling her morning, nights, and everything. But anyway, it's the usual, and we're waiting on the doctors and experts appointments to have her checked. So that's following its own course. No, one morning I was so stressed out. I just had called her, and I was teaching at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it was, you know, like 6:30, or I had to leave because I'm using public transportations. It's my choice. I have a car, but I want to use public transportations to save on gas and energy and lower my gas bill. And so when I teach at 8 o'clock, I have to leave the house at around 7 o'clock to catch the bus and be on time. And I have about 20 minutes ahead of 8. You know, I sort of arrive 20 before 8, and I leave at maybe 20 past 7. Anyway. I was not quite on a rush, but it was quite tense. I could not, you know, fiddle around. I had no time for that. And I was on the phone with my mother, and so I stopped calling, you know, we ended the call, and I call her back at night. And one thing I never, ever do is to put my telephone in my back pocket of my pants or jeans, or never. I always have it in my hand or in my bag or in my purse, or, you know, something, but never in my pockets, because I'm always afraid it gets stolen from me or whatever. And as I was on a rush and quite stressed out, I put it in my back pocket, brushed my teeth, and you know, put a bit of lipstick and stuff, and I said, oh, I need to go to the bathroom before I leave, because I'm gonna be gone for about an hour, and if I don't go right now, it's gonna be difficult at the end when I arrive. So okay, and I went to the bathroom, and when I went to the bathroom, I said, before I'm ready to go to the bathroom, I suddenly hear my telephone dropping into the toilets. Okay, I have an iPhone, an older one. It was about a 5-year-old iPhone 10 or X. I'm not sure how you say that. And but it was already. I had to charge it quite a bit more. I had to charge it more often than before, so the battery was not that good any longer, but it was all still functioning. And you know, I was debating, do I change my phone? Do I buy a new one? I will give this one to my youngest son, so that he can, you know, have a telephone that is a bit more recent than his own right now. But you know, I had to change my gas furnace. I'm not sure how you call that, gas furnace, or you know, the gas machine that makes hot water and heater. So that was 5,000 euros that I spent at the beginning of the month or at the end of last month. So I had, you know, that's what savings are for. So I took the money for that savings and everything. And I was thinking, well, no, I'm not going to change my telephone yet. It can wait. I just made a big expense. Christmas is coming up. Whatever. My phone is in the water. So I'm not that much stressed about the water because iPhones are supposed to be waterproof for, you know, water exposure or not too for too long, or you know, and I think a 5-year-old telephone is not as waterproof as it was at the beginning. But I said, okay, I'm gonna take it out, I'm gonna dry it out, and I'm gonna wrap it in paper towel and put it in my bag, and we'll see what happens. Well, when I tried to take it out, it went further away and got stuck in I'm not sure you call it the siphon. I'll place the name on the screen here. It's a French translation, but anyway, it's a the way the tubing goes like this, so that you don't have bad smells and everything. It just stuck itself that way. It was the right dimension to get stuck. I tried to get it out, and remember, I was on a rush because I did not want to miss my bus and have to take my car and So I try, and I take a pair of, you know, some kind of a hook and pliers, and I tried to get it out. And the further I tried, the further away it went, and the more stuck it got. What am I going to do? I need to go. So I left the house without my phone stuck in the water. And I don't know how this happened to us or to me. I was feeling so naked, as if I was, you know, walking around without clothes. Not having my phone with me stressed me even more than losing my phone itself and all the consequences of buying a new one and having to go deeper in my savings and, you know, get some money from. It was, I can't be without a phone. What's going to be happening if my kids want to call me today, because I was teaching all morning and I had a noon meeting with colleagues, so I wasn't going to be able to deal with that before 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So at the earliest and at the latest after my work. And so I was so stressed out. When I arrived in class, you know, my students were, as always, at 8 o'clock. Some of them are not that awake. And I was so confused. They were all thinking, what's happening to her? And so I told them, please forgive me. I'm all, you know, my head is upside down because I just lost my phone. It's most probably not working, going to be working any longer. And I'm not sure what I have to do when I have to get one. So while I was teaching that whole morning and during the next meeting, because I talked about that with some of my colleagues, I decided there is no way I stay without a phone. Such is my life. I have to accept it, or you know, a cell phone. This is the way it is. I'll think about that later. I need to get a new one. So as soon as I could, after my meeting, and I said, okay, I'm leaving. I'm gonna have to be taken care of that. I will have to be taking care of that. I went downtown to the Apple store because I have an iPhone. I've had iPhones for a long time, and I like the. You may think what you want. I like the Apple sound, and this is what keeps me in the Apple realm, because I like the way music sound on their devices and headphones and stuff. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to the Apple store. It's not a real Apple store, it's a reseller, it's an verified and authorized official reseller. So I went to them and they said, we don't have any more iPhone 14. There is a statewide, France-wide shortage because everyone has been ordering them and buying them. So there is no more iPhone 14 left anywhere. They removed the Apple 13 line, and I had checked their website and they had one in the morning when I had checked, and when I went it was 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or something in the afternoon, and it was already gone. It was in the other store that was at the other side of the city, but you know, who cares, I would have gone there. So no, and so they had just left a few back stock, or you know, as we say, the bottom of the drawer, iPhone 11, not even 12. So I was thinking, I'm not gonna buy in 2022 an iPhone 11 when the 14 is just out and people are talking about the 15. So I was very depressed because I was thinking, what am I going to be doing? I have an old that wasn't, the screen was warping, an old iPhone 6, I think, and I moved from the 6 to the 10. So you know, I had the 6 for about 4 or 5 years, and I've had the 10 since then for about 5 years. And I was thinking, I don't want an Android phone. I want an iPhone. And if there is a shortage in France of any Apple line, what am I going to be doing? So what I did, because I did not have a SIM card, and in France we haven't moved yet to eSIMs, so even the 14 lines all the models come with a physical SIM in them, and my SIM card was in my phone, in my toilets. The guy said, okay, I'll be looking around for you, but you have to go to your provider so that they give you another SIM, you know, with you know, you show ID and you see what happened. They are going to be giving one to you. There is no problem with that. So I'm with Orange, so they still have physical stores, and it was, you know, 2 streets away from him, so I went there, and they had one Apple 14 Pro left, one, black. I never had black phones. I've always had either silver or metal color phones. And I was thinking, okay, you're my savior. I did not say that to them. And I said, okay, so I need one SIM card and a new phone. So I did that. I bought the iPhone 14 Pro. And the guys were, God, I hope they are sending me kind of a review of what happened into that store, because it was maybe close by the time one guy was leaving. There were many people in the store, but not when I arrived. They took care of me about right away. And I think the guy was on his last, you know, I was his last customer. He was just horrible. Not sure because if I was a woman, because if it was his last, you know, he was ready to move away. So he gave me the phone, the SIM card, placed the SIM card in the phone and left. Had me pay, spent the whole amount of money and left. And I was left with a SIM card. I tried to unlock, so it worked. you know, to unlock the phone and everything. And they asked me for the SIM code. So I gave my SIM code because last time my SIM code was, you know, moved over my next phone. Not that time. So I was with my phone with unable to unlock the SIM card. So unable to, you know, update and move all of my data and everything. So I went back to the store. I had to wait a long amount of time in line before someone reluctantly talked to me and I said, you know, once I've spent over 1,000 euros, you don't want to see me, you know, and tell me how I do for my SIM card. So, you know, they finally got to me and told me how to do. Okay, so if this ever happens to you in France, at least with Orange, when they put a SIM card in your phone, the code is 0000. How do I know that? Anyway, so I could proceed. And I changed, of course, the SIM code after I went back home. And I started to move my stuff, but I could not get the verification code from Apple because I had no internet access and I could not hook my my computer to my telephone at this moment. So even though I had other things to do at work, I went back home because I said I need to sort that out. I'm going to be too stressed and I'm not going to be working any longer. So I went back home. After that, after I was on my own private network access, everything went fine, everything went smoothly. I like the phone. As I've, you know, it's on the next iOS. It's 16 something. I decided I was going to upgrade also my MacBook to Ventura. I think it's the latest Apple upgrade. Everything went fine. Everything is working fine. And this morning, before I filmed the video, I decided I was going to be trying something that is mirroring the screen from my phone on my computer so that I can see what I film and take advantage of the new camera. And honestly, this is why I wanted the 14 line and the 14 Pro, because there is no reason to buy the 14 all by itself. It's the same chip as the 13, the same camera. There is no reason. I'm not sure why they pulled that one out, but anyway. But I wanted to try the new camera, and this is why I was already considering changing my phone because of the camera, because I take a lot of pictures, you know, for my my own pleasure and for my knitting and everything. And I was thinking a better camera could be good. The other thing is I was thinking better camera to be filming the videos here for YouTube could be good. So I had an experiment this morning. It's working really nicely. I can use the back camera or the front camera, and the back camera from my phone. So I set it up that way and I don't see anything that is on the screen, but I can mirror the screen on my laptop and I can start filming with my watch. It all works fine. The sound is fine. Everything is fine. There is one problem why I'm still filming on my old iPad and the front camera from my old iPad. It's because the light I have I don't have any professional LED or whatever light. It's all the lights I had in my house before, you know, I started to record the videos. And the lights I have make the video flutter. I think it's, I need to get some LED lights. So I'll have to browse around and see how much they are, if they are quite pricey or not. And I may do that at some point and get good lighting, and then I can, you know, film with a better camera that I got. One of the reasons I wanted this telephone was because of the, and the Paulin because of the new camera. Anyway, that I like to play around with technology and things like that. I like that. So I'll be exploring that. I may wait for a while, still wait for a while to get good lights and stuff, because I've been making a lot of expenses, and you know, even though I've been knitting for my kids, I give them money for Christmas. So I want, you know, that will go first. That will come first. But I will, you know, look around, and I may at some point start to record with my phone, with the back camera from my phone, and have a better video setting for YouTube. Okay, so if you've been patiently listening to all my rambling so far about my life and my stress and what happened this week, I thank you very much. I hope it placed a smile on your face, and I hope it brought you some joy and happiness, because, you know, you do have to actively place happiness into our lives, because it's not gonna come all by itself, and we do have to overcome all these stressful moments. You know, it's a sort of a choice. And yeah, I hope you have happiness into your life, and I hope your knitting is bringing you happiness, your knitting plans. And yeah, I thank you very much for watching. I thank you very much for being here with me for about 40 something minutes. And yeah, I will see you next time.